pleasure to be with you here on stage. My name is Sczerba. I am leading the commercial business at CROMA-PHARMA, and I want to talk about the smart digital customer approach, stealing with pride from the real world. Some disclaimer, not everything is part of Chroma's opinion, what I present here, but none of my other former employees. So I worked for big pharma, family-owned pharma, international, but also now for this Austrian-based company. And I have to tell you some words about Chroma first, that you understand basically what business we are in, So we are basically founded 1976, close to Vienna. It's a privately owned company, so that gives you some benefits, some downsides as well, I have to say. And we have a long history in ophthalmology and osteoporosis, but nowadays we are focusing on aesthetic business. Yeah? So we have RX pharma products, but we have also medical devices and cosmetics. And we are leading manufacturer for hyaluronic acid in syringes. And we have a global presence, and we are talking now today about the blue ones, the affiliates. So we have affiliates in Western Europe, where we want to deliver our basically services to our doctors directly. And the question is, a lot of things are changing, and is it harder to get access to our customers? And do we need a sales force in the future? And can we learn something from other industries perhaps on that? And that's what I will talk about. And you all know what happened. And this talk I gave at another conference in 2020. At this time, I think everybody thought, okay, now we are going in this virtual setting. There will not be a lot of face-to-face interaction anymore. There will be everything done by phone, by video, and just half of it, let's say, in person. And sometimes you have to notice when you are on the wrong track and when things are changing. Because how does it look nowadays in 2023? And I think you will all agree to the numbers I will share with you. So did the interaction really change? That's the Viva Pulse data from 2022. So you see number one is still, number one, the in face-to-face access. Email is like 16%, so not too much change from history. And phone and video, I don't know which of your sales reps are successfully doing video calls with your customers. I think most of them are not interested, they don't have any time. At least even in our industry where we do direct business with our customers. So that's important. Our customers buy the product from us, so we really know which customers are using which product. So are there any differences by region? Yeah, a little bit, let's say in China, obviously face-to-face is more important than in other areas. But in all other areas, you see the percentage of in-person interaction is about the same. And if you look now at the European market, and more in detail, are there differences in Europe? That's over time, you see, yeah, there are of course differences, let's say in the summer, you have the summer break, but all in all, it's about the same. And if you look at the different countries, obviously in Germany, you have a little bit of more an access problem, and I think in Austria at least it's the same, that it's harder to get access to doctors in hospitals, for instance, not so much in the practice. But the more southern you go, like Spain, France, Italy, it's still very important to have face-to-face interaction. So obviously, we could stop the call now and say it's very important to have face-to-face interaction with your customers, and all other channels are not ready, basically, to switch. Then I would have 16 minutes for you to have a longer break, but we have more to talk about. Yeah? So there are no big differences, as we said. But very interestingly, at least some of the research, I don't know if you believe into that or not, nobody knows if this is true, is that the top 3 biopharmas are using 70% digital content, and let's say the bottom 3 just 18. So obviously, digitalization is a measurement for success as a pharma company. Yeah? And this is a crystal ball. That's how will the future look like. And I will try at least to give you some insights or hints, or what we think, what we are aiming for at CROMA-PHARMA as well. So if you ask the top 20 pharma executives in 2023, what do you think the future will look like? They said 90% of the content will be digital in 2027. 75 have, let's say, decoupled content creation and production, and 50% will be more modular from the content. So I think some of this will be true. Some of this, I think, is just, I don't know how close the vice presidents are to the business, really. Yeah? So what I think what is true for sure, there will be more digital content. What I think, and that's most likely true as well, because there's price pressure on everybody, yeah, regardless if you're a family-owned company or a stock company, I think more telesales, and I will tell you why. We will have more and better content, and this will be modular, so we will have why. We talked about AI quite a lot in the past, and we will hear more about that very shortly. And it will be more individualized. So I think this is something I would sign somewhere. All of this is true. To which extent, we will see. And for me, the big question is, who will provide this great content? Yeah? So I think nowadays we don't have a problem with channels or with content. We have a problem who is using this. Yeah? So inside sales, so we have people in inside sales, so the people sitting in the back office doing telesales, doing the mailing campaigns, doing whatever, doing content creation. You have outside sales, so this is really your sales reps. And then we have something that's called this hybrid rep or hybrid sales. I'm sure everybody of you have heard these buzzwords. I'm sure some of you have in your company something that's called hybrid reps. But I will tell you what, at least we talked to some experts, why this is not a very good idea. So first of all, the inside sales, they likes to work from home alone. Outside sales, they likes to have physical interaction. So these are the people, they want to be on the street, they want to have party in the evening, they want to shake hands. This one would wash their hands after they shake a hand of a HCP, most likely. These guys, they are communicative, for sure, yeah? But they are more extroverted and communicative, I would say. Then you have, for telesales or inside sales, you can do 20 to 35 calls per day. So this is a number that's quite accepted widely. With outside sales, you can do 5 to 8 calls per day. Depends if you're GP or hospital sales force, urology, whatever. Yeah? High resilience. So I think there is no harder job than doing telesales. I don't know how often you got a call. Do you want to have this or that newspaper? Do you want to have this or that whatever smartphone tariff? And how often do they say no or even don't pick up the phone? So you need high resilience. Here, they live from success. So they love this experience to win, you know. Outsourcing is possible. That's very attractive. And here, outsourcing is difficult. So I know there are, let's say, what I would call like a rental sales force, but that's not really a good business model, at least for a long time. Yeah? And it doesn't bring you really extra savings. Part-time is very easy. Here, part-time is difficult. You could have a rep who works 2 days a week, but very hard to have a rep who works just in the mornings, you know, because if you have driving time and whatever, it doesn't pay off at the end. Low costs, high costs. Salaries are much lower for these guys. Why? Because these might be people who don't even have a driving license, you know, but they know how valuable they are. Yeah? And useful for C customers, that's at least our opinion. So for the smaller customers, not so important customers, this is a very good solution. And useful for A and B customers. And now for me the question is, do you find people, hybrid rep sales, who can do both, who are both in one person? I had my doubts. There might be, let's say, 10% of these reps who can really do this, but in majority this is a different character. So I think what will help us is the AI augmented sales rep. And I know this is a topic that's touched quite often, but let's say future is already there. And I don't know who of you knows Google Bard, who knows Anthropic. This is a little bit of a niche product, I would say. A small company, Amazon bought it for 4 billion. I think you're not even aware. ChatGPT, I think that's on every news nowadays, yeah, since yesterday at least, or the last days. And Hugging Chat. So these are, let's say, the 4. I would like to know from you, who of you is using this in a business context? So in your daily work, in your office, who is using this? Don't tell your superior, but okay, exactly. That was the same. We had a big online chat with our people, about 400 people, and suddenly everybody said, I'm using that, and our data guys, they said, are you crazy, you know? Because if you put something in there, it's available to everybody, yeah? So what is, because we hear so often artificial intelligence, and basically what we are talking is a machine learning nowadays. It's not artificial intelligence, but it's not yet deep learning. So what we talk about is machine learning. Yeah? And if you ask Forbes magazine, I think that's quite famous, how will this change our environment? How will change this our working life, basically? So, of course, healthcare. And I think most of you are aware, clinical trials, drug discovery, in hospitals, for pathology, whatever, healthcare. Yeah? But farmers, do you know that farmers will use this quite oftenly in combination with drones, with infrared cameras, whatever. Customer service, I'm sure you know that a lot of your counterparts in the chats are already AIs, yeah, very often at least. Yeah. AI is improving transportation. You know all this Mercedes, whatever, self-driving cars, Tesla, that's something. And financial, it's very interesting. Big data analytics, they can identify if somebody of your employees did something, let's say, let's call it for private purpose, I would say. Okay? And then quality control. You can do this. We have a big, in Austria, a big motorbike manufacturer. They are using AI now to look at the frame, if this was constructed in the right way or for mistake. So these are a lot of things, but there are some real samples from life. So I don't know if somebody knows the Erste Bank. It's in Eastern Europe, very famous. It's the first bank. It's a market leader in most of these countries. And what they did, basically, they had a lot of data from the last 100 years. It's a very old bank, 100 years. They had a lot of interesting insights. They uploaded this to a big vault, yeah, and nowadays you can use ChatGPT and ask all different questions. It's Erste Bank AI for financial purpose. So if you're interested in any financial topic, they will give you the right answer, most likely, yeah. And of course, as I discussed, you know, in pharma, it's quite famous, but here in Austria, I tried to take some real-life examples that are really from this country. At the Vienna Medical University, that's the AKH, it's one of the largest hospitals in Europe. What they did basically, you have to imagine, when you do brain surgery, you cannot identify which tumor is this in it upfront. So you have to open the head, you take out the sample, then this patient is on the operation bed basically for half an hour. They bring it to the pathology, then they do the pathology, and then they come back and say how to treat this tumor. Yeah? And what they do now, they have a method with the help of AI where in 4 minutes in the operation room they can identify if this is a glioblastoma or whatever. Yeah? So this is really something what really helps you to improve your processes and your real life in a real-life setting, and it works already and is validated, because otherwise they would not be allowed to use this in the Medical University of Vienna. So the big question is now, why do I tell you that? Because what does this mean for pharma marketing and sales? And I talked a lot to companies offering AI solutions. So what does this mean for pharma marketing and sales? And first of all, you have personalized content and recommendations. So that's something that you would all agree, this can AI deliver for you. Data-driven insights, I think that's also some of the CRM providers they already offer nowadays. Automated administrative tasks, so I think most of your sales reps, they hate to put data into your system, yeah? But here AI can really help you, and there are so many nice solutions already out there, how to bring this in your whatever Viva, Salesforce, or whatever system you're using, yeah? Predictive analytics, yeah? Next best action, I think this is a lot of companies are offering this already. But virtual sales assistant, I have not seen this in pharma, most likely, because pharma is very hesitant to use such tools, and improved sales forecasting. So you can do sales forecasting on a rep level, because you always do top-down or bottom-up planning. And this can really help you to do bottom-up planning on a sales rep perspective, because they know all the data. And competitive analytics, that's also very important, yeah? You can search the web every day, every minute basically, and whenever something pops up, you get a report that's already summarized with bullet points and everything. So this helps you a lot. What you can do, customize content, and I ask them, please describe this conference in the words of Donald Trump. And you can see this works very easily, and I can say it will be tremendous. Whatever you see here, it will be tremendous and unparalleled, of course, and all across the globe. So you can do this very easily. So you can do the customization of your message to the individual, not like 10 different, no, millions, yeah? So what do we do, basically? We already have a learning platform for our doctors. We have a lot of seminars, webinars, whatever. We have to do a lot of hands-on training with our customers. We have a B2C web shop because we also have cosmetics. We have a B2B order portal where our customers can grow. But the problem is, if you don't do anything for that, it's just there, but it doesn't drive your business at the end. Yeah? And we also have big social media content and followers and whatever. We have Instagram channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, X now. And most of our customers have. So if you want to work in an aesthetic business, you have to have an Instagram channel that's fancy, modern, up to date, and whatever. Yeah? And for us, the problem is now, how to basically combine all these different channels. Yeah? We have WhatsApp, that's very important in our business as well. Yeah? So we want to individualize our sales approach. So what we did is we did analyze our customer base. Yeah? We found out there are a lot of customers where it's not there right now, worth visiting them. Why? Because the return on investment. A visit of a sales rep costs about, let's say, 200 to 300 euro, I would say, depends on. Yeah? And if you do this 4 times a year, you have to generate a profit of 1,200 euro. That's very easy. So you have to earn, let's say, depending on your margin, double, triple, whatever. Yeah? And it's not so easy to get it right. So we have a lot of channels. We have push channels, we have pull channels. You know, you all know this. Very fancy, what the rep can use. Pull, what the customer is using. Yeah? And the problem is who can handle all this stuff. Yeah? At least our reps can't really, most of the cases, because it's just too much for them, and not all of them are trained in the right way. So you have database where all these projects are basically in there, all this data is in there, but what can you do with this big data? Yeah? And we thought about who is the best company in e-commerce worldwide. And it's very simple, it's Amazon. Yeah? Amazon is by far the market leader in this business. And Amazon has a small partner that's called AWS. It has about 10 billion sales, yeah? So it's huge. And what they offer the services that make Amazon successful. So right now I think they are offering 60 different tools. Yeah? And we use AWS Cognito, AWS Personalize, AWS Pinpoint, and SageMaker. What is this? This is a single login tool you can use for all your different platforms. That is a tool that personalizing your messages, and Pinpoint basically is combining this with different external factors, and SageMaker is a tool using AI to use the data and basically make solutions out of that. And I will tell you how this works. And in the future, and what we do as well is we work together, and Inicio, they are here. Yeah? We are working together. It's former Ashfield. For telesales. Why? Because telesales is very useful for C customers, as we said. You can cover non-staff territories, of course. They offer also medical service hotline. That's for a small company like ours very important. And they also have some very fancy tools where you can identify new customers. Yeah? And what we call is the digital sales rep. So this means this is not a human anymore, but we try to cover basically our customers in an unparalleled, really custom experience for them, even better than before, which are not worth to be visited. Yeah? So how do we do that? We use the AWS tools. You have the data from our CRM. We are, I think, the only crazy people who went for a SAP Sales Cloud-based CRM system. We have SAP because we are a manufacturer where you have all the sales data in there. We have our CROMA Hub, that's a learning platform, so we know who is logging in, who is looking at which content. We have our web page and our social media, let's say, channels. You can do WhatsApp automatization, and you can even put in the weather data. So we have, let's say, sun cream, and if it's sunny outside, the system would automatically say, okay, today it's sunny, please let's do a promotion for sun cream, because if you see the sun, you're more likely to buy it. Yeah? So all of that basically is possible with these AWS tools. And what we do as well is, we don't have too many people, so we want to offer medical services. And how do we do that? With SageMaker. Yeah? So you have basically a big vault where you have all the dossiers and publications from us in there. And then you have here ChatGPT in this case. Yeah? And that's something you can include in all your web pages, SharePoints, whatever you use. Yeah? And they will answer the question just based on your data, and this data is not in the World Wide Web. So you can really use this as a scientific base. We will start internally for testing, and for cosmetic also external, because there it's not so critical. So all in all, what I would say is the dual sales mode is here to stay. That means external and internal sales force, and that will grow the internal one. AI will change the way we do marketing and sales, that's for sure, and we just don't know how fast this will happen. And finally, you need less people in the future, that's for sure. So your sales salary base will go down, but you need the right ones. Yeah? So they will be more expensive and more better trained and more knowledgeable. And altogether, I want to say thank you. And this was done by OpenAI from Dalle. Yeah, so you can try this. You can. It's a free version. That's why the picture doesn't look so fancy. Yeah, but you can also, without any registration, already design your own pictures. And I wish you good luck with AI. Let's see where we are in 5 years from now.